Ex-wife caught cheating with her ex-high school crush. Hey, True Story. I've been a fan of your channel for a while now. I never thought I'd be one of the guys sending in an email, but here I am. My name's Mitch. I'm 39 years old, and I live in Utah. I don't usually put my business out there like this, but after everything I've been through and seeing other men share their pain and experiences on your channel, I figured I'd throw my story into the fire. Maybe it'll help another man out there avoid what I went through. Maybe it'll help me process the betrayal I still carry around like a rock in my chest. This is the story of how I found out my ex-wife was cheating on me with her high school crush, how I caught them red-handed, and how I went no contact after the truth came out, even though part of me wanted to destroy everything in sight. How we met. I met Kayla, not her real name, when we were both 26. I had just gotten out of a messy situation with a woman I dated for 3 years, and Kayla seemed like a fresh start. I met her through mutual friends during a barbecue one summer. She was sweet, quiet, and gave off this girl next door vibe that made me feel safe. After what I went through before, I was craving something stable. Kayla seemed like that. We started dating a few weeks after that barbecue. Things moved quick, but not in a reckless way. It just felt natural. We were both working full time, me in construction management, her as a nurse, and we spent weekends hiking, camping, and binge watching shows like Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy. She wasn't wild or attention seeking. She didn't care about social media. She made it easy to trust her. Looking back now, I realize how blind I was, but hindsight's always 20/20, right? The wedding, the marriage, the perfect life. We got married when we were both 29. It was a small wedding, nothing flashy, just close family and friends. And we held it near a lake where we used to hike together. She cried during her vows. I thought it was love. Maybe part of it was. Or maybe she was crying because she knew deep down she wasn't ready for the commitment she was making. The first couple years were solid. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. I was working 60 plus hours a week. My company was doing well, and I had just been promoted. We were even talking about buying land and building our own house in the mountains someday. But little things started to change about 3.5 years into the marriage. I'd catch her smiling at her phone more. She started getting back into fitness, which I supported, but she also got real particular about her appearance, like full makeup for a walk or spritzing on perfume before grocery runs. Still, I didn't press her. I trusted her. I was loyal. I figured she was just growing and maybe I needed to step up too. The weekend that changed everything. Now here's where it all went to hell. One Friday afternoon, Kayla told me she was going to spend the weekend at her mother's house. Her mom had just had minor surgery, and Kayla said she wanted to help her out for a couple of days. I told her that was sweet and gave her a kiss goodbye. I even packed her an overnight bag because she said she was running late. That Friday night, I called her mom just to check in and see how she was doing. She didn't pick up. No big deal. I figured maybe she was resting. Saturday morning, still no response. I texted Kayla to ask how things were going, and she gave me some half-baked answers. She's sleeping, or helping her shower, call you later. Again, I didn't overthink it. I trusted her. I thought I was married to someone who respected me. Sunday afternoon comes around, and I finally get a call from her mother. And true, I'll never forget what she said. She goes, "Mitch, I thought Kayla was home with you this weekend." I froze. I said, "What? She told me she was with you." There was a long pause on the phone. Her mom sounded genuinely confused, and I could tell from her tone that she wasn't in on whatever lie Kayla had cooked up. I told her not to worry and hung up. My heart was pounding out of my chest. That's when I did something I never thought I'd do. I tracked her location. I'd never used that feature on our phones before. I respected her privacy. But the minute I pulled it up, I saw she was in a place called Dry Rock Canyon. That's a popular hiking trail we used to visit when we were dating. Only she wasn't alone. I drove straight there. It was a 2-hour drive, but I don't even remember it. All I remember was the pit in my stomach growing with every mile. What I saw. I parked my truck and followed the trail on foot. I had no real plan. I just wanted to see what was going on. I told myself maybe she was there with a friend. Maybe she needed time alone. Anything but what my gut was screaming. After about 20 minutes of hiking, I heard voices, laughing. Then I saw them, Kayla and a man. They were off the main trail, tucked behind some trees. At first, I couldn't see much, but as I got closer, I saw them kissing. Then it got worse. I caught them having sex in the bushes. Then true, I'll tell you right now, there are no words for the rage and heartbreak that hit me all at once. I felt like someone had taken a sledgehammer to my soul. My legs went numb, my hands were shaking, and every bone in my body wanted to beat that man into the dirt. But I didn't. I just stood there staring, frozen in disbelief. When they finally noticed me, the look on Kayla's face wasn't even guilt. It was shock, like she'd been caught cheating on a test. She scrambled to fix her clothes and started saying my name. The guy looked just as stunned. I turned around and walked back to my truck. She chased me for a bit, yelling, "It's not what it looks like, and please let me explain." But I kept walking. I got in the truck and drove off. The aftermath. I went completely no contact that day. Blocked her on everything. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I just shut the door on that part of my life and refused to open it again. Her mother called me that night, crying. She said Kayla came to her place sobbing and begging for help. Apparently, she was flipping out, screaming, crying, threatening to hurt herself. Her mom told me, "Mitch, I don't know what's gotten into her." She said she made a mistake, that it was a moment of weakness. But it wasn't a moment, it was a decision. A premeditated, well-planned lie that she carried out from start to finish. And I wasn't going to be her emotional punching bag just because she got caught. I told her mom I appreciated the call, but that I was done. No contact means no contact. The divorce I filed for divorce within the week. The paperwork was fast. We didn't have kids, and the house was in my name. She tried to reach out through friends, through email, even sent me a handwritten letter begging me to forgive her. She said the guy she was with was her high school crush, someone she always wondered about. She said they reconnected on Facebook and it just happened. But cheating doesn't just happen. You don't lie about visiting your mom, drive 2 hours into the canyon, and strip down in the woods by accident. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. I didn't attend the hearing. My lawyer handled everything. Reflection and moving forward. I'm not going to lie. Those first few weeks were hell. I barely slept. Couldn't eat. I kept replaying the scene in my head. Her and that man. The look on her face when she saw me. The way everything I thought we built vanished in seconds. But here's the thing that kept me grounded. I didn't react. I didn't hit the guy. I didn't curse her out. I didn't destroy my own life just because she was careless with hers. That was the one thing I could control, my reaction. And I held on to that like a lifeline. My friends told me I should have beaten the guy senseless, but I know how that story ends. Cops, lawsuits, criminal records, and for what? A woman who disrespected me in every way? Nah, that wasn't worth it. Instead, I focused on rebuilding. I hit the gym harder. I took a solo hiking trip through Colorado. I got back into woodworking, a hobby I let go of during the marriage. I reconnected with old friends. I even adopted a rescue dog, a black lab named Ranger, who's been my shadow ever since. I'm not saying I'm fully healed. That kind of betrayal leaves a scar, but I'm stronger now, wiser, and I'll never ignore my gut again. Final thoughts. True, if you read this on your channel, All I ask is this: tell your listeners that sometimes silence is more powerful than revenge. Walking away is strength. Going no contact is protection. And a man who controls his emotions controls his life. To the men out there who feel like they've been stabbed in the back, don't let it break you. Let it wake you up. Learn, grow, and keep walking forward. Because at the end of the day, her betrayal isn't your burden to carry, it's hers. Thanks for letting me share, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Mitch, follow up. Never dating again, just wrestling in the sheets and stacking my paper. Hey, true story. It's Mitch again. I want to thank you for sharing my first email with your audience, or even if you didn't, just the fact that I could send it was enough to help me clear some mental fog. Writing that thing out was like draining an emotional abscess. I told you how I caught my ex-wife cheating on me with her high school crush out in the woods, how I went no contact, and how I didn't let the rage ruin my life. Since then, I've had time to really reflect on everything and put my life into perspective. Now I'm living a different kind of life, a free life. I wanted to write this follow-up to explain where I'm at now, what I've learned, and what I want every young man out there to hear loud and clear. Let's just say this up front. I will never date again. I'll explain why, what I do instead, which, spoiler alert, includes some no strings attached wrestling, and why I think every young man should be stacking his money while living like a ghost. Let me say this loud and clear. I'm done with dating. I've been single for a while now. At first, I thought I'd feel lonely, but the more distance I got from that old relationship, the more I realized I was never truly happy in it. I was just comfortable. That's a dangerous state for a man. Comfortable leads to blind spots. Blind spots lead to betrayal. I gave a woman my loyalty, protection, resources, time, and emotional support. And all it took to destroy that was a Facebook message from some dude she used to fantasize about in homeroom. So no, I'm not doing that again. People ask, but what about love? Let me be real with you. I loved a woman who couldn't love herself enough to be honest. I was the man women say they want: loyal, stable, good income, patient, supportive. It didn't matter. Hypergamy doesn't sleep, and temptation doesn't knock. It kicks the door in. The way modern dating is built, it's a game designed for men to lose. Apps, trash, social media, a constant pipeline of validation for women and a desert for men, unless you're a six-figure model with a yacht. Even if you're a good man, it's just a matter of when, not if, she'll look around and think she can do better. So I said, to hell with it. Dating? No. Marriage? Never again. Relationships? For what? But I'll still wrestle. Now, let me clarify something. I'm not a monk. I'm still a man. I have needs, urges, testosterone pumping through my veins. I'm just not going to put a title on anything. I don't need someone posting me on Instagram or giving me ultimatums. What I do need is peace of mind, solid routines, and a little adult fun here and there, on my terms. So yeah, I wrestle. No commitments, no sleepovers, no promises. I'm upfront with the women I meet. I'm not looking for anything serious, just mutual respect and good vibes. You'd be surprised how many women appreciate the honesty. Some are even relieved. They're tired too, tired of lying to themselves about wanting a fairy tale. As long as I treat them respectfully and don't lead them on, it works out just fine. I've got a small roster of regulars, women who have their own lives, their own careers, and zero interest in playing house. We meet up, handle business, maybe watch a movie, and then go our separate ways. No drama, no expectations, no jealousy. One of them even told me, I wish more guys were this emotionally honest. I laughed because I used to be too emotionally honest, and it got me betrayed. Now I keep things simple, surface level, and safe. And that, ironically, gets me more peace than any serious relationship ever did. Advice to young men: stack your paper and live invisible. Let me switch gears now. I want to talk directly to the young men who might be listening to this on your channel. If you're between 18 and 35, this is your window. Not just for dating or love or whatever you've been brainwashed to chase. This is your window to build. I'm talking about money, wealth, discipline, freedom. Here's what I've learned since my divorce. 1. Make as much money as possible. Pick a skill, get good at it, monetize it, then stack that money. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to be useful. I was in construction. Started out doing demo work for $16/hour. Learned project management, got my certifications, and now I manage six-figure contracts. That didn't happen overnight, but it happened because I showed up early, stayed late, and paid attention when other guys were goofing off. I don't care if you're flipping furniture on Facebook Marketplace, coding websites, or detailing cars. Just get good at something and monetize it. 2. Live below your means. This is the part most guys miss. They start making $80K and start living like they're making $150K. Stop. Get a cheap used car. Live in a modest apartment. Keep your wardrobe simple. Cook at home. Save and invest the rest. You want freedom. It's not found in Lambos or bottle service. It's found in waking up and knowing you don't have to do anything. It's knowing that one bad day at work won't ruin you because your bills are handled and your savings are deep. I've got 6 months of expenses saved. I could walk out of my job tomorrow and be fine. That's power. 3. Keep your circle tight. Friends. Keep the ones who are productive, ambitious, and honest. The rest, let them drift. Family. Love them, but don't let them guilt you into bad decisions. Women. Enjoy them, but don't let them distract you from the mission. When you're on your purpose, people will either support you or resent you. Let them show their cards, then act accordingly. 4. Protect your peace at all costs. I learned this the hard way. Peace is more valuable than any dollar amount, more than any attention, more than any validation from a woman, more than sex. Peace is sleeping well. Peace is walking away from drama. Peace is knowing no one has power over your emotions. You only get peace when you have control. So take it back. Own your time. Own your mind. Own your choices. What my life looks like now. I wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym by 6, work by 8, home by 4. I cook my meals, keep my place clean, play with my dog, and work on side hustles. Every now and then, I'll meet up with one of my lady wrestling partners, and we'll enjoy the moment. Then I'm back to the grind. I read books now, personal development, finance, history, philosophy. I lift heavier than ever before. I don't argue with anyone. I don't explain myself to anyone. I don't answer to anyone. That's the life I always wanted, and I had to lose everything to find it. Some people say that's lonely, but let me tell you, being in a relationship where you're walking on eggshells, questioning your worth, and being lied to, that's real loneliness. This is solitude, and solitude is powerful. Final words to the young brothers. To every young man out there, stop chasing women. Start chasing purpose. Make yourself so strong, so self-sufficient, and so locked in that you become the prize. Don't waste your best years trying to please someone who will flip on you the second she gets bored. Don't hand over your resources, time, and peace to someone who views commitment as optional. Guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. And if you do choose to be with a woman, make sure it's from a position of strength, not loneliness. But if you're like me and you've already seen how quick it can all fall apart, don't be afraid to say, I'm good. You don't need a wife to be whole. You don't need a girlfriend to be valid. You just need a mission and the discipline to chase it every day, no matter what. Thanks again, true story. Keep doing what you do. The men need it. I wish I had this kind of content when I was in my 20s. Maybe I'd have seen the signs earlier. Maybe I'd have saved myself years of pain. But no regrets, just lessons. And now I wrestle. And I win.